Good morning, and welcome to all faculty, families, guests, and my fellow underclassmen. What a ride it has been. Together, we've been through many ups and downs and successes and failures. I think I speak on behalf of my Cardigan brothers to say that I truly would not want to be in any different community with anyone different by my side. As we recently congratulated the graduating class of 2019, the experiences we have shared and the lessons they have taught us will not be forgotten. However, this is our day to celebrate the many profound experiences and our greater maturity. We are making the transition from boys to young men, with our Cardigan community supporting us in the process. During the final weeks of our time here on the Point, and with the closing of our Cardigan year in sight, I feel strongly that I am not alone in stating Headmaster's Day was one of the highlights of the year. In fact, it was on this day where I experienced an eye-opening situation. Silas Van Franken, my Cardigan brother and a recent graduate of 2019, and I were walking back to the Commons after an intense and surprisingly physical game of Gaga ball. As we laughed from the fun events of the day, we began to share our overall experiences at Cardigan. We both agreed that the sense of brotherhood and friendships we formed here at Cardigan are possibly the strongest we have ever experienced in our lives. However, we realize that the Cardigan boys do not always appreciate the opportunities and personal growth until our departure, or perhaps years after leaving the Point. It was at this time when Miss Fideli's advice to the Brewster dorm resonated with me. Don't count down the days, but make the days count. I started living by that saying, and then I began to comprehend that with the graduating class's departure from our community. We, as underclassmen, have the opportunity and responsibility to make next year the best year ever. We will build upon our Cardigan experience and continue to help the other fella be our best and live by the core values. And 1 year from today, let's stand on this stage knowing together that we left Cardigan better than we found it. Before departing from Cardigan campus today, I encourage all my fellow Cardigan underclassmen to express gratitude. Thank your role models in our Cardigan family. Thank these people for their love and care they have for you and the impact they have had to help us develop into the people we are today. Thank your siblings, and especially your mother and father, for their daily sacrifices they have had to make you into the person you are today and make you into a Cardigan Cougar. I'd like to welcome Mr. Novak to present the Dorm Citizens Awards.
The Dorm Citizenship Award recognizes students who, in the eyes of their fellow residents, have been the most positive, kind, and helpful citizens throughout the year in their respective dorms. Today, we celebrate 8 students who have earned this recognition. For Banks, Jerry Jang. For Dewar, Everardo Lujan. For French 1, Alonzo Moreno. For French 2, Bill Key. For Greenwood, John Lee. For Hayward 1, Hugh Jung. For Hayward 2, Ethan Lowe. And for Hinman 2, Wilfredo Castillo.
Next up is Mr. Sinclair with the John Dudley Clark Community Service Award.
During the last 2 days, Cardigan has strengthened as a family as we've participated, both students and faculty, in what's called our Rising Community Initiative. Yesterday, we heard from an organization called Growing Leaders, and if you ask some of the boys, you'll see, I think that it's a pretty impactful messages, and the boys were wonderful as they listened to two great speakers. And their motto was to solve problems and serve others. And it's this motto of solving problems and serving others that are two great characteristics of amazing leaders. Mr. Dudley Clark was a great leader. He served this community for over 30 years, delivering mail, large packages to students' rooms, driving, waiting, and caring for injured students, the hospital runs. The tradition of handing out donuts during morning break were all acts of kindness from Mr. Clark. His kindness and great spirit also spread within the Canaan community as well, delivering newspapers on Sundays, maybe walking a dog for somebody, or volunteering with local nonprofits, just like many of you boys did this year. Tommy X. Lee truly embodied Mr. Clark's actions of kindness. Through the clubs program, through his sports teams, during his free time on weekends, and always with a big smile on his face, Tommy participated in 17 different service activities, earning him the 2019 Dudley Clark Service Award.
Next up is Mrs. Stilich with the Art Award.
Thank you, Bryce. I have the honor of giving out 2 awards today, but I first wanted to recognize all of the boys who are student artists this past year. I really admire their courage and joy that they brought to the art room, and as Henry Matisse says, creativity takes courage. And these boys surely demonstrated that in the art room. I want to recognize one boy in particular who set off the beginning of the year with a tremendous amount of courage and passion for the arts. This young man brought with him not only in the art room, but also outside of the art room. He offered up his time to volunteer in our faculty student art club on Thursday afternoons to help out with the younger kids. And as well as this active volunteer, he also showed a passion for bringing the arts to all ages. And this was really wonderful to see. I would like to recognize Eric Hong for his for the art student work. The second award I will be awarding today goes to a student whose work of art will be recognized and brought into the Cardigan Permanent Collection. And this is a piece of artwork that is recognized by the art community and welcomed into our own permanent collection. This young man was a 7th grader, is a 7th grader, rising 8th grader, and he recently took art this past term with Dr. Rinkin, and he demonstrated a growth mindset, one of our Cardigan habits. This young man was methodical, hardworking, and really gave a tremendous amount of dedication to his portrait grid drawing, which you may have seen in the dining room. It is of a young woman, beautifully done, and we are pleased to recognize Daniel Jung for a permanent collection of his artwork.
Next up is Mr. Franco with the Music Award.
Thank you, Bryce. The Underclassmen Award in Music goes to someone who's demonstrated exemplary compassion, integrity, respect, and courage by sharing his music with the Cardigan community and contributing in a positive way to the musical culture here at Cardigan. Now, this gentleman quickly established himself as a stalwart in music class by leading his group project with leadership and cooperation. He was also a valuable member of the ensemble, showed no qualms about playing the harder parts, even when he originally wasn't supposed to. He helped us make Cardigan history by being a member of the Lightning Bolts brass section, accompanying Jimmy Woo and the Wignuts, and I'm really looking forward to working with him again next year, hearing more trumpet. This award goes to Mr. Connor Pollard.
Next up is Mr. Burt with the Woodworking Award.
The Golden Hammer Award is presented once a year to honor a student who embraces the ideals of the woodworking program and who develops a true spirit of craftsmanship for the work he produces. The student creates a detailed scale drawing and calculates the materials needed. He then cuts out all the components, assembles them using a variety of gluing and clamping techniques. Along the way, mistakes are inevitable. Student must figure out ways to correct or mask those mistakes. New tricks are learned along the way. Several days of sanding are followed by staining, finishing, more finishing, more sanding. It's a long yet valuable process in which they know what they want at the end and they have to figure out the steps that are needed to get there. The Golden Hammer Award used to be given as a spray-painted golden hammer. And we decided instead to actually offer a hammer, a real hammer, something that you can actually use. This is a hammer that I got about 30 years ago. I built houses for 32 years with this hammer, same hammer, and I still have it. So a good quality hammer is a really valuable tool, just like a good education is a valuable thing to have. This year's recipient came in every day, was focused right from the very beginning as to what he wanted to make. It was a unusual project. In the class there's a lot going on, so I'm trying to divvy up my time amongst the 8 or 10 kids in the class, and so he had to work independently a lot, and he did so and accomplished what he set out to do. This year's recipient is Bill Key.
Next up is Mr. Good with a Theater Arts Award.
Good morning. It seems simple. Stand up, step forward, show up on time. But then you add lines that need memorizing, blocking, character development, and the very real probability that things will not go exactly according to plan. And do all this in front of a full house of your peers at school. Courage is necessary to take that step forward and volunteer for a play or for a drama performance. What seems terrifying at first gradually becomes thrilling and exciting, and in the end you discover you survived and want to do it again. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. This young man has played senators and servants, a king, a troubled Edgar Allan Poe, and most recently an undercover FBI agent. He's constantly testing himself on stage, in school productions, and in class, making himself vulnerable to both applause and criticism. Always surviving, always growing, always getting stronger. For inspiring us all with his humility and commitment to excellence, Diego Escalante gets this year's drama.
Next up is Mr. Frost with the James N. Marion Sportsmanship Awards.
Thank you, Bryce. First, thank you to all our student athletes, parents, coaches, athletic department staff. It's been a great year on the point, both on and off for games and practices. I appreciate all you do, all your fun, all your hard work, effort, and support, so thank you. Coach Marion, Worked at Cardigan for 47 years as the athletic director, teacher, coach, and mentor to everyone in our community. He was the kind of person we all hope that all of our boys will grow up to be, as he was always looking to help the other fella. Coach Marion always had a smile, an encouraging word, a steadfast presence of integrity, work ethic, dedication to his family, his friends, and of course the school. The plaque that hangs in the James N. Marion building reads, the James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award, awarded to the student athlete in each grade for their enduring athletic sportsmanship, who in the eyes of the entire coaching staff best embodies the true spirit of the Cardigan Mountain School athletic program. The 2019 James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award for the 6th grade goes to Leighton Glover. The 2019 James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award for the 7th grade goes to Andres Silich. The 2019 James N. Marion Sportsmanship Award for the 8th grade goes to Diego Escalante.
Next up is Mr. Capro and Mr. Doherty with a scholastic recognition.
Cardigan Mountain School provides a rigorous academic program. The teachers design unit and lesson plans to help each boy grow into his best self and find a passion for learning. There are written exams, Socratic seminars, performance-based assessments, and project-based learning that forces the students to wrestle with new ideas, reflect on personal beliefs, and demonstrate mastery through application and analysis. The winners of this year's Scholastics Awards have embraced the habits of learning and, in doing so, have earned exemplary marks. Mr. Capper will now begin calling these boys up who have earned an award.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty. For 6th grade, in science, Reed Geldenzoff. In mathematics, Tiger Yang. And in humanities, Mateo Escalante. One second. For 7th grade in English, Nico Gomez. For mathematics and for science, Mac Wong. For history, Anders Silich. For world languages, Caden Vandola. For English as a second language, Randy Zhao. And our recipient for Peaks has departed campus already for the summer, and we will give his award to him. But if we can have a round of applause for Harold Kim. For 8th grade, in the subject of English, Franklin Chow. For mathematics, Figo Wang. For history, Gabriel Brundle. For science, Lalo Lujan. For world languages, Juno Cowens. For English as a second language, John Lee. And for Peaks, Jordan Yuan.
Next up, please join me in welcoming Mr. Day.
Thank you, Bryce. And I want to congratulate those of you who are recognized today and all of you, our students, our boys, for a truly remarkable year. Cardigan prides itself on meeting boys where they are and taking them as far as they can go. Last Sunday, we said goodbye to your 9th grade brothers. We've taken them as far as we can, but certainly not as far as they will go. In so many ways, their learning and growth journey is just beginning. We're not done with you boys yet. But we will give you a break for a few months and let you go play and frolic, enjoy the summer and goof around, recharge your batteries. All of you have made great strides this year, and we're really proud of you. For a moment, and any parents can join in this as well, for a moment, I want everybody to just close your eyes and think about your first few days this academic year. You were either new at Cardigan or at least among new kids and entering a new grade. In any case, there was a lot of unknown for you. And for parents, there was a lot of unknown for you too. Think about something you overcame. Some obstacle that was in your way this year. We all had them. At least one or two. Now in your heads, you can open your eyes. In your heads, I'm afraid some of you might fall asleep on me here. In your own heads, answer the following questions. How did you overcome your obstacles? How did you find your way around or through and onto the right path? Take a moment to reflect on how you've grown and learned this year alone. Some of it was subject specific. Science, English, art, and so on. But I'll bet that a lot of it is probably not so easily categorized. The growth I'm talking about is the development in each of you to be resourceful in the face of challenge. At Cardigan, you have tons of support, but you still need to think and act as an individual. Your emerging ability to do this with confidence and integrity is part of the magic of Cardigan, and it's not magic. It's the intentional, guided development of middle school boys. And it's why we're all here in this incredible community. In her book, Forged in Crisis, Nancy Cohn details the challenges overcome by 5 historical figures: Ernest Shackleton, Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and Rachel Carson. Each confronted seemingly insurmountable obstacles. But each, in the end, utilized the tools they had developed to help them to do what was needed in their moment. The biggest takeaway for me is that there is no one way to solve a problem. There is rarely one right answer to a problem in life. At Cardigan, we know this and endeavor to provide you boys, not with answers, but with agency, or the resources, power, and permission to solve. Each of you, each of us, will confront scary and seemingly insurmountable obstacles in our lives. When you do, I urge you to turn to your courageous heart. Mix in the lessons that your parents have taught you and the lessons that you've learned from your teachers and brothers here on the Point. And, as commencement speaker Ben Lovejoy told our 9th graders, go to work. No obstacle is insurmountable if you keep working at it. At Cardigan, we hope you learn many different things. We want you to be kind and respectful. Yet we know that you live in a world that is often unkind, and a world in which people don't always respect one another. Well, guess what? When you come to Cardigan, we expect you to be the difference makers in your world. A Cardigan education is not easy. It's not a school that you go to until 2:30 every day and then get on the bus and go home to your real life. This is your real life. While you're here, it is, and we hope when you leave too. We want you to develop empathy, experiencing the thoughts, feelings, and attitudes of another. And we expect you to push yourselves in the face of a changing world, sometimes in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Success requires innovation, creativity, and imagination. All of these are part of your everyday here at Cardigan. It's not an accident. Our faculty, your teachers, coaches, advisors, and dorm parents are committed to your growth in so many areas that they become the water that you swim in. Over the course of this year, I have marveled at their excellence, their patience, their persistence, their love of you guys. Please don't leave this place for the summer without seeking out those adults in our community who have helped you somehow, and let them know how much they mean to you. I guarantee that you will feel great, and it will make their day. It also checks another box of a Cardigan education, and that is gratitude. None of us succeeds on our own. We all need help, and it's appropriate to give thanks to those who help us along our way. I hope that you've done this already on an individual basis over the last few days during our Rising Community Initiative. But let's take a moment, boys, to publicly appreciate the efforts of the finest group of teachers in the boarding school world. Now, even though we're all freezing here, I'd like to wish all of you an exceptional summer break. Create some memories, go outside, goof around, have a blast. You've earned it. Have a great summer, boys, and thank you for an absolutely terrific year. And now I'll turn it back to next year's school leader, Bryce Terry. Great job today, Bryce, and thanks very much.
Thank you, Mr. Day. We are all part of a puzzle, a Cardigan Mountain School puzzle. Everyone under this tent is one unique piece of that puzzle. Each of you plays a critical role at Cardigan, and any missing piece of the puzzle creates an obvious void. Look at the fellow next to you. You are different. You each have your own strengths and weaknesses. As a Cardigan family, we learn from each other, and the diversity of the student body brings out the best in each of us. As we walk away from this tent, let us not forget the pieces of the Cardigan puzzle that are leaving and not coming back. Let us never forget our shared experiences. And for those boys returning, let's return to the Point in September, ready to lead and support the new Cougars. The 2019-2020 school year will only be as good as we make it. I now declare the 2018-2019 school year closed. Have a great summer.